Okay, Becky, it's nice to talk to you this morning, and in Israel, and afternoon, where am I? So to start, first, I want to tell the people, what do you do, what are your background, and a little bit about yourself.
Okay, what a pleasure. Thank you so much. So my name is Becky Rothstein. I was born in Chile, in South America, and we came to Israel more than 50 years ago. I suffered at the age of 11 of polio, and in 3 months, I was completely free of being stuck and, paralyzed. And it started with my neck, and well, I don't want to go there. And the change started immediately because I believe in the memory of the cells. So when I had my children, every pregnancy became more difficult. And at the end, I was limping on a leg. My hip on the right side went up, and I had to find a solution to help me. I became addicted to medicines to relieve the pain with 4 children, and to maintain a normal house wasn't easy. And after looking for different modalities, because the orthopedic world couldn't help me, I started to learn Reiki, kinesiology, back plants, meditations, relaxations, inspiration, opening my awareness. And I was drawn to Louise Hay in 1999 to learn how I can heal my life. When I was there, I cried for 8 days, and when I came back, my life changed. That was my first quantum leap. I love to talk about it because I became another person. And I started to teach. I had a lot of groups, and then I became, I think in 2002, yes, I became a certification teacher, a teacher leader to teach teachers here in Israel, which I so appreciate the powerful work. And I continue to study till today because I know there is much more I can give. It's my passion. It's my passion. As a child of 6 years old, I remember helping the cleaning lady at home to teach her in Santiago to read. And then I became at 10, 11, if the master of the class would come, of the college with school, would come into the room. Who can help me today? I'm missing a teacher. I would jump, always trying to help. And then I became an interior decorator, which I help people to make their houses beautiful. Work very, very hard on that because I loved it. And now it's more than 25 years, almost 26, that I made Louise Hay, that my life changed. In 6 months, I left all my work, different things I was doing, and I became an interior decorator in the real meaning of the word. And that, I hope it's not too long, but I love it. I love to talk about it. Thank you for the question.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the part of your history when you talk about pain, because there's a lot of people listening to you that they feel hopeless about sickness. They go to the doctor, and the doctor didn't give like a real solution, and they try different kinds of therapies online, different kinds of YouTubers, podcasters, do this, do that, and they feel hopeless. They cannot find a real solution. What are your thoughts about it, or what can you tell a person in this situation?
First of all, I think a physical pain or an emotional pain disrupts our lives. So when somebody comes to me with a physical or emotional pain, I try to go to the root of the things, because we know now that it's so clear that we create everything what we are living. And the most important thing is to be aware that you want to commit to change, because it's so easy to go to the doctor and to get a tablet and to feel better. I remember a surgeon in the States who said that when he commits a surgery to a person, he sits with the person afterwards in order to go to the root, what created that, because if not, he would come back to the surgeon table to go through surgery. So I know that the pain can be listened to, learned to, and do the clarification and the healing. And of course, I respect very much the medicine because sometimes we really need medicines and surgery. And still, there is so much more to do before that, and that I love to talk about it and to help people about that. Let us take the simple thing woman, me being a woman, migraine everywhere all the time. Well, that's stress. And when we reduce the stress, we change a little bit of what we eat. I was there and it's gone. It's gone. It's gone completely. So today I'm very careful to talk to myself before taking a medicine because you can become addicted.
Yeah, of course. Like especially those times when, at least my generation, we are used to fast solutions, like automatic solutions. I'm from the generation of the microwave, of the remote control, internet. We are not used to go to the root of the case. People most want to take a pill and that's it. So we
Right,
have like this part of the culture. Sometimes people want to go and expect to the doctor tell you what you have wrong in your mind and not being able to work inside you. And this is
right.
sometimes, as you said, the most important work, the most important part to decorate, like the interior design.
Right. Let me share with you. I'm laughing because lately I've had a lot of, therapists in different areas of therapism. And when they come to me, they say, "Can you help me? Because I see that you do a process." And by me, they say, people come, they take the treatment, they go home. They come, they take the treatment, they go home. It's like, it's not my body. I'm not taking responsibility. You do the work and I will be free. It doesn't work like that. It's a process
Mm,
and and they don't understand it. It's like not all of them, of course. I respect everyone in the place the person is, but today I know that if you're here and you want to be there, there is a process, and the process usually according to your beliefs, according to your feelings, according to the words you use, all of that has to change in order to come to this place where you want to be.
of course. What are your thoughts about the people who feel stuck? Because a lot of people, like, or in their health or in their finance or maybe relationships, a lot of people feel stuck in life because, as you said, it's a process, and the process sometimes takes time, and you don't feel that you're moving forward. What are your thoughts about it?
Well, I think that to being stuck is an idea we took from the culture. So easy to say I'm stuck. Yesterday, I had a visitor, a guest here, a very good friend. He said, "Becky, help me, I'm stuck." And I said to her, being stuck is an idea. Could you change the idea? I mean, what does it mean you're stuck? Are you moving? Are you walking? Where are you stuck? You're stuck in your mind. So it means that you have to change an idea, a thought. And when you change the thought from being stuck to saying, "I'm flowing, I want to know what I can do to go farther." We're never stuck. It's an idea in the mind. And when you change, Louisa used to say, if we would change one thought a day, how life would change for us. That's it. The
Hmm.
mind is a creative center. Are we using it in the right way? I have a passion to teach people to think the right way in order to heal their lives.
Absolutely. Like a lot of people, if you, for example, read the YouTube comments of the videos, a lot of people is obsessed with the idea to change their mind, to change their life. I want to change my life. There's a lot of people on YouTube talking about like, I will help you to change your life. So do you think that people can change? Because there's like this preconception of like nobody change.
I would say we have two attitudes: the one that you have to change, and the one that let them change and my life will be better. So, which attitude I take? What does it mean to change? Because we have a lot of, I would say, a lot of critics about the idea of changing. Why do you have to change? In a relationship, I work a lot with relationship. I think today this is the place of work, the gym, in order to have a better life. For me, changing, it's constantly. This moment is already changed to another moment, transformation of energy. Everything is changing all the time. So when I'm in the flow and I'm not flowing, I'm stuck, I feel it's not moving the way I want, well, can I do something about it? Because change can be for many people an idea of I'm not good. I have to change. I'm not good enough. I have to change. And that's everyone is saying in the YouTube, like you say, or wherever in the media, in the news, you are no good. You cannot take responsibility. Let me help you. Blah, blah,
Mm,
blah. You understand?
of
At the
course.
same time, each one of us can look at the personal life and say which area I feel pain. I work mainly with three areas that could be the relationship, the abundance, and of course, the healing the body. And in those three areas and many others, when the person wants to change, there is one requisite, one thing that the person needs to know. What is the wanting? What is the wanting? Because when we have a want and we really know why we want that, because I don't have a good relationship, because I don't have enough money, because my body, I don't walk like I used to walk and freely. So in all these areas, when you find the want, that's a starter, the starter point. Everyone who comes to my coaching room, the first thing I will help, it takes sometimes time, and it's okay. What do you want? And the second step is, why do you want it? Because then it's clear what we need to change. And it's okay if it takes time. I can guide them. I can guide you. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. I have a lot of things to ask you about what you said. But now, first of all, I want to understand when you mean that the three most important areas that you work is abundance, health, and relationships. What do you mean, or what are the most common problems that people have in those three areas?
Okay. My working place is full of questions about relationships. It can be a relationship with a husband, it can be a relationship with a mother, it can be a relationship with the children, especially with married children, it can be a relationship with grandchildren. Life is relationships.
Hmm.
But I work, first of all, the relationship with you. When you, with you, are okay, everything flows. I asked a lady that she is very critical to her husband. I said to her, would you choose to live with you? She was like shocked. Would you choose to live with you? So that's the first step. Because when you understand you, and that's mainly, I think, the most important thing, when you know who you are, when you know how to treat you, being gentle, being loving, listening to your needs, and having the power, the inner power to ask for what you need, not from the place poor me. We are not poor me, we have everything we need. At the same time, mainly they come for that, for relationships. A lot with married children, a lot in the marital issue, and some of them with the work, the place of work, that they
Hmm.
don't feel appreciated, they don't feel that the money is flowing to them the way they have to, they're supposed to receive. So that's one. The second one, abundance. We are suffering from ideas of scarcity. We grew up and they're telling us all the time in all the news, in the television, radio, whatever, you cannot do it by yourself. Look at that. It's very hard. The economy is low, and still there are so many people who are okay, who feel abundant. Abundance is not only money, it's wisdom, ideas, relationship, love. There is so much in the abundance. I get a lot of questions and a lot of coaches about the abundance issue because it starts with scarcity, with an idea that there is not enough, and that's a lie. The number three, of course, this is my passion, Louise Hay, understanding the mind in order to help the body and the mind to heal? Well, all kinds of diseases. I work with people going through really tough situations, and thank God, I believe I can help. And this trust in me is only because it's more than 25 years. That's what I do 24/7. So that
Mm.
I appreciate, and I'm in gratitude every day, written gratitude to God for guiding me to be where I am today.
Absolutely. Can you explain a little bit about the relationship within the mind and the body? Because it's very interested about what you said, like how the mind can heal the body.
Yes, I learned from this master teacher, Bob Proctor, who used to say, my mind is a divine creative center. Everything starts from a thought. So we are all exactly like the computer programmed to think in a special way. And this special way, mostly creating disorder in our lives, being dissatisfied, being upset with ourselves, not feeling good enough. That's why I said before the first thing I do is to help the person to work with himself. So, when I know that the most important thing is the thought, the mind contains the place of thoughts, of thinking, the conscious mind. At the same time, it also contains the subconscious mind, our feelings, our emotional world. When I focus on a thought, immediately the subconscious brings me the feeling that is in alignment with the thought I'm thinking. And the thoughts and the feelings expresses themselves through the physical body. Here you have the connection. So when something already is created in the body, like I said before, the migraine, the headaches, women, especially headaches, problems of feeling themselves fat, the weight issue is wow. We are contaminated with ideas how you can lose weight. And we all know if we don't change the idea we have about ourselves, we know people who have gone through operations to lose weight. In a little time, if they don't do any work, it will come back because the body
Mm.
remembers that's what I'm used to feel this way. So you change, you eat the apples all day, or you go to a center and you do a cleansing. And if you don't continue, the body has a thermostat, we can say. I always like to think about the air condition. If you put the air condition, it's hot here in Israel, 23, and suddenly you feel so hot and you see the door is open or the window, you close it. How does the air condition goes back to the 23? We have
Mm.
exactly the same mechanism in our body. So if the body is used to suffer, is used to have overweight, we are used to think in a certain way, it will come back if we don't go through the process of changing.
But Becky, are you telling me that, for example, just a little idea of, I don't know, the idea of I'm not worthy, or I'm not capable, or I'm not a happy person can affect my health?
Yes,
Because this idea is like for most people is root for change, but it's really hard to accept. Like this little change can change everything in my health and my relationship.
exactly. When I'm used to think I'm not good enough, what do you think is the vibration, the feeling in you? It's the same. Vibration or feeling is the same. So, how do I vibrate as a woman when I feel I'm not good enough? I don't do enough. A lot of kilometers of blame and guilt. Kilometers, and I mean that. If I had done it differently, look what happened with my child. If I had done it different, look what happened with my marriage. So when we are there already experiencing what we are experiencing, we go back to the mind and we say, let us see the thoughts that you have about this. The moment we change the thought, the feeling is getting better. You vibrate better. You vibrate, and you know the law of vibration. What you give out comes back. It's a law, it's always. So when I change my vibration, I attract better circumstances, better, relationships, friendships. I feel more loved. And this expresses it, as I said before, thoughts, feelings, they express through the physical body. Suddenly, the way I went through, no more migraines. I used to suffer with stomach ache. So many people who have done this special work have changed their stomach situation. So we know, even today in the psychology, they say positive psychology. Why? They came from psychology, very strict, to positive psychology, because it shows that when you think in a better way, certain way that we learn, we feel in a certain way, our body expresses it. We see the actions and we see the results.
You talk a lot of different kind of illness that affects women. You can you give me some details about it? For example, you talk about like how migraines and headaches affect women, how this manifested, and what can we do about it?
Would you like to know more about situations you mean with women?
Yes, this is specific situation. For example, migraine. I don't know. You told a lot of women have this issue, so maybe if somebody is listening, she will find some answers.
Okay, okay. I think that it starts with order in the mind. A
Mm.
woman has a lot of chores. Maybe she has children. Maybe she has place of work outside of home. Maybe she takes care of their parents who are they getting older. She has to take care of her husband, of the house. So she is like in the circus, they play with the balls, trying to catch the balls. They go up and down, up. She's here,
Mm.
she's there, she's here. There is no order in the mind. A big chaos. The mother can hold the phone, talking with her mother. The child is, mommy, mommy, I need to say to you something. She's also at the same time creating the soup for supper today. So the mind gets in disorder. And this disorder expresses in the feelings up and down, up and down. There is a party, she's happy. She had a conversation with a friend, she's happy. She goes back home, she sees the children, she's down. So this disorder in the mind creates a disorder in the physical body. Headaches is an expression of stress. We are not surprised that a woman goes through stress. I know, I've been there. So how you change to this wonderful feeling of calm, of being focused, of taking time for yourself, which is essential, essential. This is holy, holy. If the woman, I help so many women when their children comes home, what she has to do before they come home, or before she comes from work home, so that she's serene, that she's calm, and then suddenly everything is flowing. Everyone wants to help. It's a process.
So, make time from yourself is like the base of feeling better and to be better for your kids, for your family.
Let me just say sorry. You know
Mhm.
how difficult for a woman, you can't imagine how difficult it is for a woman to take time for herself. Because the moment she sits with a coffee in the terrace, do you know how she feels? In her
Mm.
imagination, she can be in the vacation, she can be in front of the sea, maybe she can see the sea from the window. You know what this gives to the body? It's amazing. 5, 10 minutes. So what I do is I suggest everyone to do in the morning, everyone to do in the morning, is to take the time really to wake up a little bit early and to take time for yourself. And the first thing, conscious breathing. Conscious breathing calms the mind. You're not thinking when you're breathing. I love to do the 2, 4, 6. Or I prefer the 4-6-8. It's 4, bringing the air and holding it. If I take 4, I count in my imagination, holding it 6 and relaxing out the 8. It takes all the, all this stress from the body. And when you repeat it again and again, and the woman says, the children are waking up, and so wake up a little bit early. You don't need a lot of time. Close the door in the toilet. Sit there. It doesn't matter. Be with yourself. Focus on breathing. You don't have to spend now half an hour. You don't have to close the phone. No, it's private time for you. And the morning started and you forgot about it and you come to work. Sit down, and take 2-3 minutes conscious breathing. You will feel different. And the mind will get used to be in order and you will feel great.
Mm. You know that now I know that it's not your intention, or it's not the purpose of this podcast to talk about like medical advice or give some medical recipe for people to follow. This is not our intention, but I want to talk about your experience as a coach. I know that people have a lot, or especially women have a lot, also stomach issue. How was in your experience, and in your experience, what helps them to be better?
Great question. Great question. When I was very young, I suffered constantly from my stomach. And the doctor gave the name, the title. She has a nervous stomach. Well, that's great. It's like the person who knows that he's angry, but from the knowing, nothing happens. Exactly the same. So I have the title. What can I do with that? I remember going to school and I wasn't a good student and so afraid of tests. I remember when I finished high school, I said I will never go through a test, never again. I mean, I was really, really afraid. What does it mean, digestion? This the connection with body and mind. When we digest the food, we digest ideas, the same process. So by digesting the idea that I cannot cope, that I'm a bad student, that I will never have a good note, from a teacher, this ruined my stomach. And then when I was addicted to painkillers, I was on the verge of ulcers, really on the verge of ulcers. And what changed? The idea that I am who I am, and that's wonderful. That's what I learned, the most important thing with the Louise Hay program. That the way I am, it's great. And I can grow at my path. I will choose how much every day. And I will never, like I used to as a child, compete with the others because it puts me down. I will compete with myself every day to become better and better. That's such a good feeling. So when people come to me with a stomach, and I have many of them, the most important thing, the basics, is to know that you are who you are. And when you sit, I learned to sit down with the food. I learned at home to eat quickly, quickly, quickly. The first one who finishes is great. I learned to sit down and be very conscious and in gratitude to eat. At the beginning, I would put a clock till I got used, to really work the food. Like the Rambam says, to bring the food down to the stomach when it's liquid. So not with the telephone, not with a book or the newspaper, just relaxing, being in gratitude for what I have in my plate. And it changed my whole life from this. So everyone who is listening, when the person will, how we say, compromise with herself, commit, one one exercise or the breathing will help the digestion to be more quiet, or sitting and being conscious with the eating. I help a lot of women with that because women are stressed because life is stressful. If you see it that way, for me, life is wonderful. It used to be like that. And that's the processes.
I want to talk about a little about stress, because stress is like such a big cause of all discomfort and pain and illness for women. So, what are your thoughts about it? Because life, as you said, like women do multiple tasks at the same time. They have all my respect. As a man, I can just do once at the time, and for me, yeah, it's enough. I'm full capacity. But women do such amount of things at the same time and with such coordination. And how can a woman can find energy, focus, and order to and not to be overwhelmed by stress?
I will repeat myself. The first thing is to decide that you're going to change your life. In which area? In which area? The most important is to calm the mind. The most important, because the focus gets better and better. And when you're with one task, you're completing that task. And then slowly, 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 you create order in your life. You know how many secretaries I've seen through my life that they come to place of work to relax. And then from work, instead of working in what they are supposed to work and they get money for it, they are, talking with the vegetable shop to buy and ordering the supermarket. And this creates really disorder in the mind. So when the woman is doing all the things, she's not focused in all these things because the mind can focus on one thought at a time. That's a fact. So she can do much better. First of all, take time for you. It doesn't have to be an hour. It can be 10 minutes, 15 minutes for you, and appreciate who you are, and go to the mirror many times and then just love yourself for who you are and what you are doing, because you are great. Remind yourself that you're great, and remind yourself that you deserve your time. This is the most important thing in order to reduce stress. This is life. Doesn't have to be life with stress. It doesn't have to. We can really, really create so many wonderful things when we have order in the mind. And I think that taking time for you will create a very quiet emotional world. And this will instantly being seen in your results in life. How you feel, how you talk, how you touch, how you embrace your children, how you kiss them, how you send them to school, how you receive them when they come from school. I have so many work to do with people. They want to marry their children, and they have so many, so much stress in the idea that it's the clock. They're not getting married, and the culture and the people they are surrounded with, they have to get married, they have to get married. Well, that's true, but you can help them when you are in calm sense of life, if you are really focused on seeing them already married. People say to me, I had a wonderful conversation with my mother, this Yom Tov, and mommy said, but that's not reality. And I say, why do I need to look at reality if it gives me pain? I prefer to be concentrated on what I want to create, not what I have created already. And she was laughing at me, and she listened, and then she said, can you talk to me 10 minutes every day with these good ideas? So it's important. It's important. And go back and back to reduce the stress, take time for you, and learn to love yourself and appreciate who you are.
Beautiful. So now you talk about something important. You talk about like, well, first you work healing, work helping people to heal themselves,
Yes.
going to the root, but also you talk about the relationships. So how can a person can heal relationship that it's lost or damaged, or what's the first step? Because now, for example, you talk about like relationship with your parents or relationship with your husband, and how it goes.
I think the first step is to be very honest with yourself. That's the first step. Because we lie to ourselves. We give all kinds of reasons why I'm not happy in my relationship. Can be, like you said, with the husband, it can be with the mother or mother-in-law, it can be with the child. So in order to heal the relationship, you have to be honest and look at the relationship with you. Are you really loving yourself? If I don't exercise love in me, how can I give it to others? But the second step, very important, sometimes the first, stop criticism. All of it, period, on you and on others. This is essential because what kills relationships is criticism. It kills it. It's hard work, but it can be easier when you learn tactics, when you learn how to do it. And you wanted to ask something, but I just finished. In order to let go of criticism, when you see something that you don't like, just say, interesting. I'm still seeing it. Because when I change my idea of who I am, I can really go to the points that I appreciate other things that the person has. You know, we have all kinds of things in ourselves. So I don't like her because the way she dresses, or I don't like him because the way he talks. So concentrate on one trait that you really like. See what happens. Miracles.
Yeah, I wanted to say something real quick. Like, what can you do when you are focused on this inner work of not to criticize others, and you are fighting with yourself to not criticize, but you hear the other person criticizing you, so you are about to let it out, and you with these kinds of attitudes of others, you cannot hold yourself, and you start again with the same circle. Because I read a lot of comments of people doing that on I don't know, these times. For example, there's so much, even in society with politics. I don't want to go there, but like there's a lot of criticism in the
Right.
ambit in the society. So how you escape this logic?
Well, first of all, I'm very, very serious with the law of cause and effect. Because if
Mm.
I don't like the effect, I go to the cause and it's always me. I am the cause because the law of vibration, what I give out comes back. So when I'm criticized, I know I have still criticism working in my vibration. So it always starts from me. Always. When I see people criticizing me, don't liking what I do or what I say or whatever, I say, oh, okay, interesting. I have some much more work to do. When I let go of criticism, suddenly people become so nice in your surroundings. And if still there is a person who criticizes you, well, listen, because there is a lesson there for you. If not, God wouldn't show it to you. So we have to understand that the law of cause and effect, and the law of vibration, the law of attraction, they are laws very serious, the way Hashem, God, created this world. So we have to respect the laws. So when it comes to me, the effect, I am the cause, I don't go to guilt and blame. I just say there is another lesson. That's why God is showing it to me. So where am I criticizing others, or mainly myself? And
Mm.
you see how it works? It's great. It always works. But we have to do
Works
the work.
works even in marriages.
Of course, of course. I remember when I was very young and my husband would say, why do you criticize? Why do you go all the time criticizing me? And I would go, I'm not criticizing, I'm giving an idea. Well, that wasn't really true. And today I'm very careful because when I stop criticizing myself, or I catch myself criticizing myself, I do immediately the work, the opposite. I change the thought in order to feel better. And slowly, slowly, we get to attract people who are lovely, who can work with us and grow together.
Mm.
Remember,
Yes,
remember
sometimes
for
we
people,
judge people so fast.
yes, it's a reaction. It's a reaction. They're showing me something and it's a reaction. So when I react, I have to know I'm connected with his energy or her energy. When I stop,
Mm.
I don't allow myself to react, and instead I act. Slowly, slowly it disappears. because reaction is changing your energy to the person energy who's talking to you. Why would you do that? I want to feel good, right? So if he woke up in the morning with the left foot, I have to change my energy because he's living with me or a friend or a mother. No, no, you have to understand and really understand that you understand that when you react, it's because you change your energy to the energy of the other person. Is it clear?
Yeah, absolutely clear. What do you think about, like, my grandfather used to say, sometimes you need to forgive and forget. What are your thoughts about it? Like
Oh,
forgiveness or
that's
forgive?
such a big issue. That's such a big issue. Forgiving is like a masterwork. Forgiving is masterwork. I remember Louise Hay saying, forgiving is to give you. Forgiving is really to let go and giving you a present, taking responsibility of your life. Why do you recreate and recreate and recreate the video of something that people are like, they experienced it 20 years ago, 30, 40 years ago? Why they bring it again to the mind and it will change the energy? You will lose the love and the light and whatever. Whatever, it's life, vibration, joy. So we why would we do that? It's a reaction of things that passed and we haven't worked with them. And I think forgiveness is a sacred work. It's knowing that the person was doing whatever he could do with where he was born and what is his programming, the hatred that there is around and all that. That's what guides them. But why do I need to go to that situation and change my feelings, my energy? So forgiving is to give you a present, first of all. What happened, happened. I like to explain it. The picture you cannot change because it happened, but you can change the frame, the attitude looking at the picture. I think this can help a lot. That's forgiveness. We can always forgive and let go. Always. You said forgetting. Forgetting, I said it's a big, big issue because there are things that we cannot forget. For instance, the Shoah. We cannot forget.
For the non-Jewish audience, what is the Shoah?
Oh, I'm sorry. How you say the Holocaust. I'm
The
sorry.
Holocaust, yes.
Holocaust. That's something that we promised that we will remember. So when people start saying, how can you forgive? Let us talk about the Holocaust. I say, don't go there. You have a lot of baggage to work with, and this is sacred. Sacred. We haven't, as me, being there, but yes, a daughter of a survivor. So I think we deserve to them the 6 millions that it's terrible to think about it. I think we need to remember. I feel that's my feeling, of course, that many says no, we have to forget. Well, that is unforgettable. But when people talk about it, I say don't bring that here because here we are working with your life, with your experiences. Have you been there? No. Okay. So let us exercise forgiveness with your issues, with the client issue.
Yeah, I think like the Holocaust is more like for us Jewish people, it's more like collective issue,
Right.
and now we are more focusing on like
Right.
personal issues.
Exactly. Exactly. But people bring it because they
Of
want to
course,
debate with
but it's
me.
part of the identity, you
Yeah, right,
know.
right. Okay.
And I want to ask about like the last part of you mentioned in the beginning of the conversation about the things like most people that are working with you are struggling about finance and abundance.
Yes.
Because what's your definition of abundance? You tell that it's more than money. What do you mean about it?
When I feel abundant. I feel abundant. I am a millionaire in my mind in all areas of my life. When I look around, I decide to focus on what I have instead of what I don't have. Because what I don't have still, I will have when God decides. So I do my work. Abundance for me is a full life. Plenty in every area. It's health, it's joy, it's monetary abundance, it's great relationships, it's wisdom, it's ideas. It's so many areas. And people think about abundance and they say, oh, money. You know, we are poor in many areas that doesn't have to do anything with money. Very poor. You know how many people, especially women, who don't sleep? They cannot fall asleep. They need to read the newspaper. They go with the telephone to sleep in the night till 2, 3 o'clock in the night. The brain is working. How can they fall asleep? So they are poor in that. And it's essential to sleep to recover the physical body and the mind. So when I feel this, this poor me, I take them to the abundance, and also with people who are at work and they're not giving their best because they have this idea that they don't get the money they're supposed to get. And I help to change that immediately, because when you give more than you have to give, you receive more than you have to receive. So the giving brings the receiving. Our hands are to give and to receive. So I'm very, very, very passionate to help people, if it's monetary, if it's abundance in joy, if it's abundance in relationship. But mainly the money issue is something that people are so scared. You don't know the women who are so scared to talk about money, or financial freedom. They feel so attached to their husband's decision, so attached to being a victim. But that's a programming. That's a programming. When I say to a client, would you like to really feel financial freedom? Do you really want to feel that? Why? And when the why is clear, they get there. I always tell them, when they want to buy my program and they say to me, I have to ask my husband, they won't like it, it's too much money, blah, blah, blah. Again, you go to Becky. I say to them, don't go and sell it to him. First, sell it to you. Because when you know and you really understand that you want it, need it, and you are to be compromised to do the work, he will give it to you. And of course, there are people, many people, who they have finances, separate, and there are some of them together. I am so abundant. And they say, yes, because your husband likes to help you, likes to, push you forward. Well, that's true. At the same time, you can be in the same place. It's only work. It's only investing new seeds in your mind to see the new reality that you want and work on it. Very committed. You see how it happens.
Well, Becky, we're about to finish, but to sum up this conversation, this amazing conversation, I want to ask you, what can a person do, or a little step to improve and bring abundance to these three areas of their lives, to their relationship, their finance, or the health?
I didn't understand your question. Do you want an idea for each one of them?
Yeah. Well, like what they can do now, what they can do today to bring abundance to their lives.
Okay. I would say the main thing that I do constantly for years is, when I wake up very early, because I like the energy in the morning with the ideas there around and people are not thinking because they are asleep. So it's really clear. The first thing I will do is to write a list of gratitude of 10 things. First of all, 10 things that I'm in gratitude for. And I'm very careful to do 5 things that have happened and 5 things that I want them to happen as if it already happened. And I give my gratitude to God to the 10 of them every day. When I finish the list, I work quickly and I go each one of them and I ask myself, why are you in gratitude for that? Without writing. The only thing you write that in gratitude, it's important to write, because when you write, you think, and when you think, you imagine. And when you imagine, you go to the mirror. That's the second step. And you go to the mirror and you fall in love with yourself, and quickly write there a list of things, of traits that you want to be. Okay, maybe there are some of them that you are already, but take the ones that I dare to do new things. I feel comfortable to put seeds in my mind that haven't become yet, my experience. So that's the first thing. And then I go to the mirror, like I said, and I feel every day I fall in love with myself again and again, of who I am and who I want to be. And the third thing, that it could be the first or the third, I like to sit down and to have the breathing session with myself. It can be short. You remember the 4, 6, and 8, in order to have a crystal clear mind of what I want. And I think this is abundance. And I think this is time for me, like we talked. And I think that this will help you in all the areas. You will be more in gratitude to your husband, to your relationship. You will feel the abundance in your life when you're in gratitude. You will be surprised how many good things you have in your life. And I will share a secret with you that I did for many, 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 many days at the beginning of my work. I would go out to walk, because I walk every day. So I would go out and I would stand on looking at a tree, and I would say, this tree has roots, and then it has a trunk, and then it has, all these like arms
Branches.
spread, the branches like arms spread, and from each vine there are leaves, and from each leaf there is a flower. This is creating abundance in a simple way in your mind. Wonderful exercise.
Well, Becky, I want to thank for your time. I want to thank for your wisdom and for your words of encouragement for other people who is listening to us right now. And I know that we are very busy today because Shabbat is coming. So, well, thank you for that.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you. I have a
well,
passion for that. So whenever you can,
yeah,
just call
I
me.
will. I will write your social media for people who want to contact us. But we are getting a new chapter every week. So for people to turn up and listen to more passionate ideas about abundance and how to improve and heal your life.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.